Whew. Hi there, Facebook. I'm about to unleash on what I just saw and didn't see in this Super Bowl that should have been won by Tom Brady, but wasn't won by Tom Brady. So I got to say off the top, I'm no Eagles fan, but congratulations, Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly. Although I would also ask, why, Eagles, why did you get away with 2 robberies on replay reviews that I still can't get through my head? I'm trying to comprehend what I just saw in the 2 replay reviews. Neither one of them make any sense to me. I think the Patriots just got hosed. It felt like the league office finally decided, you know what, enough of these guys. Enough of their arrogance. They're wearing out our fans. People are sick and tired of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, New England red, white, and blue. Let's get them out of here. And so the Philadelphia Eagles were given 2 touchdowns. Not 1, but 2 touchdowns that won them the football game. And I said this in my preview before the game, before today's Super Bowl. I went on just in the half hour before the game. And I said what concerned me, what scared me was, you can't ask Tom Brady to do it every time against all odds. 5 times he won Super Bowls, and 5 times he had game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime. That's preposterously all-time great. So you can't keep asking him to do it, because he also did it against the Giants in the first Eli Super Bowl. 2:42 left. That was an 80-yard, 12-play drive, 6 yards to Randy Moss, touchdown, 14-10 Patriots. So he had it right there in his back pocket that time, and Kyrie happened. Or he would have had 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives. And he played an extraordinary fourth quarter tonight, and he winds up with 505 yards passing against that defense and that deep pass rush. And it finally came down to a 1-play game, and I kept tweeting, Belichick's defense just has to make 1 play, just 1 play. And guess who made it? Brandon Graham. Guess who was on Undisputed? You can see us tomorrow, 9:30 noon Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Keenan Allen was on, was it Thursday of last week? And he just went off about the monster on that defense isn't Fletcher Cox, it's Brandon Graham. And finally, he blew by Shaq Mason, hit Brady before he could unleash his throw. Ball's loose, and they recovered. Bounced right for the Eagles. So it was just meant to be. It was the Eagles' night. But those 2 replay reviews, I mean, Tom Brady threw for 505. Are you believing this? 3 touchdowns, no interceptions? Are you kidding me? It's just all-time greatness. But Nick Foles was equally great. And I said all last week on Undisputed, he won't be Nick Foles, F-O-L-D-S. I don't get it. There's no way that Philly would have won that game or the 3 playoff games with Carson Wentz. I just don't love him. I respect him, but he makes you wince every once in a while. He goes deer in headlights. He tries things he shouldn't try. Nick Foles was just flawless tonight. He was preposterously great tonight, too. Brady was greater, but Nick Foles actually got 1 bad break on the deep throw to Alshon that he nearly, was it Torrey Smith or Alshon? Alshon, yeah, Alshon on Gilmore. And he almost caught it. Pops it up in the air, intercepted. It's just a bad break for Nick Foles, and that was almost the game right there. That was almost ball game right there. That would have made it 22-6. There's no way Brady can come back from that against that defense. But they went the other way, scored, and all of a sudden it was a ball game. And in the second half, Brady was just all-time spectacularly great. I don't care if he's 40. Played like he was 24, 28. Played like he was just entering his prime tonight. And in the end, it came down to those 2 replay reviews. And the first one on Clement, what a beautiful throw it was by Nick Foles. But clearly, it took me about 5 times watching it, and you heard Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, you just can't justify. He just didn't have control, and all of a sudden, the last step of his foot, while he doesn't have control, it's out of bounds. Took me a couple of replays to see it. At first I thought maybe he sort of stubbed his toe in bounds, but he didn't. It was out of bounds. It should have been overruled. Patriots hosed. I don't know. How can the NFL justify that? I don't know. It's just a screw job for the Patriots. And I realized once upon a time the Raiders got screwed in the tuck rule game at the Patriots. I was there covering it. I was covering the Raiders. It's a long time ago, 2001. It launched the dynasty. I get that, but that's a robbery. And then the Zach Ertz play, how can you say he became a runner? I don't know. It looked just like the Jesse James play to me. You still have to control the ball to the ground. And I said, by the spirit of the play, I argued for Jesse James. I thought he did control it and slam it the way a running back would for a touchdown. My man, Hall of Famer, I'll see him again tomorrow. I can't wait for this. See how hypocritical you are now, Shannon Sharp. Let's see if you stick by your guns, because it's Jesse James all over in the obviously New England at Pittsburgh play. And you can't become a runner and slam the ball across. It's the Dez Bryant play all over again. Then that's a touchdown. That was a touchdown, a catch and a touchdown then. Did he not become a runner, Dez Bryant? I mean, I get that. But if you're going to say that wasn't a catch, and if you're going to say the Jesse James play wasn't a catch, then that wasn't a catch tonight. It's the same play all over. Did you just suddenly sort of philosophically change the rule before the Super Bowl? I know they're going to revisit in the offseason and they need to clarify. And I get it. By the spirit of the rule, in my heart of hearts, I will agree that was a catch. That was a touchdown. But by the letter of this law, the letter of the law currently standing in the NFL, that's not a catch. How can you suddenly finesse it to say that was a catch and that he became a runner? Then what about the Dez Bryant play? What about the Jesse James play? It's outrageous, but it looked like you suddenly changed the rule on the fly to dethrone the Patriots. That's how it hit me. And I feel for Tom Brady because he was just extraordinary tonight. And remember, there's no Edelman, there's no Martellus, and then there was no Brandon Cooks. And I don't know what Chris Collins, he really ticked me off to start the second half. He said, Tom Brady's some errant throws tonight. I don't know maybe that hand's bothering. Baloney. Gronk dropped 2 in the first half, and then Gronk got interfered with on the throw. You know, everybody's fixated on the Amendola to Brady throw that he should have caught, except he shouldn't have caught it. It was an overthrow. I don't expect Tom Brady to leave his feet and try to dive for that ball. Are you kidding me? He's getting beat up enough, battered enough by the Eagle pass rush. It was relentless. I know they didn't sack him till the end, but the point was, Amendola had pressure in his face and he let it go a little high and outside, and Brady just I don't expect him to leave his ground on that play, and it came down. I give Doug Peterson full credit. He went for it twice on 4th down and they pulled it off. And they were really good, and they came in with the attitude, if you're going to beat the champ, you got to knock the champ out. And they went for it on 4th down. Way to go. I see Nick Foles being interviewed right now. Way to go. They went for it, and they ran their trick play. And Trey Burton. I'll get it right. I'm doing NBA. Trey Burton threw a perfect pass and hit Nick Foles right in the hands. Just right in the hands. Well, fine. So he caught it because he couldn't help but catch it. And the Brady was just purely an overthrow. But remember, that was 3rd and 5. And what everybody lost, and NBC didn't show us a replay, which really frustrated me. No, I'm not ripping them. I guess they ran out of time or went to the commercial break. But on 4th and 5, after Brady couldn't catch the pass high, the overthrow pass, he throws up the sideline, and it sure looked to me like Jalen Mills just fouled the hell out of Gronkowski. It looked like pass interference to me. We didn't get to see a replay of that. We will show you one on Undisputed tomorrow at 9:30. And it's like the old Shaq rules. Oh, anybody can bang and crash against Shaquille O'Neal because it's not a foul because he's so big and strong. Well, that was pass interference. I just saw it live, one shot, but it sure looked like pass interference to me. Would that have not changed the game? That was 4th and 5. And then they turned the ball over on downs. Okay? So that's what it took. It took an extraordinary night by Tom Brady. It took an embarrassing night by Bill Belichick's defense. And look at this. They give up. This is Bill Belichick, the genius. They give up 10 of 16 third down conversions to Nick Foles. Seriously? They give up a total of 538 yards to Nick Foles' offense. They get dominated in time of possession because they couldn't get off the field. It was 34 minutes for Nick Foles' offense to 26 that Brady had the football, 34 to 26. And again, I always hear about Belichick's the master. He does this. He does. I hear from Shannon Sharp trying to discredit and discount what Brady does. Oh yeah, but he had the top five scoring, fifth-ranked scoring defense, points allowed. Yeah, but if you look at the second level stats this year in defensive efficiency, overall defensive stats, they ranked 31st. They weren't very good on defense, and Brady just overcame all year, which is why he richly deserved to win MVP. But tonight, he just can't overcome 41 points and 538 yards and 10 of 16 on third down. That's just an embarrassment for Bill Belichick's defense. And don't give me Matt Patricia, and don't say good riddance to Matt Patricia because he's going to take the Lions job. Don't give me that. It's Bill Belichick's defense. He coaches it, he strategizes it, he schemes it, he adjusts at halftime or doesn't adjust, as the case was tonight. And when they needed to rise up and make a stop, they never made a stop. They couldn't do anything. They stopped a couple of two-point conversions, thanks to Stephon Gilmore, but that's it. They couldn't rush the passer. They got little to no pressure on Nick Foles, none to speak of. And I was embarrassed for them. And I know there was the big 30 for 30 on whatever night it was. Was it Wednesday night, Thursday? I can't remember. It all flows together. But the big two Bills, Parcells and Belichick, and Shannon Sharp the next day on Undisputed going off. I have even more respect for the genius of Bill Belichick than I ever had. Yeah, baloney. What was that? I don't have any respect for that. I don't. That was pathetic, and Belichick should hear about it. And he was at war with Brady, and he lost the power struggle this year, and he wanted to go forward with Jimmy Garoppolo next year, and to his credit, Robert Kraft said, no. Sorry, you will trade Jimmy Garoppolo. And he didn't trade him. He gave him to San Francisco out of spite to me. He basically sabotaged the near future of this team, just gave him away. So to me, I said this before the game, and I'm going to say it again on Undisputed tomorrow. There's a little part of Belichick, I don't know, like 20%, that doesn't mind losing the Super Bowl because he doesn't want Brady to get any more credit. It's a power struggle for credit. I know they're going to supposedly, Kraft's going to sit him down somewhere, probably in the Bahamas or somewhere in the offseason, try to get him to sort it out, mend the fences. I don't know. I'm just not a Belichick fan. He's cheated. He's been accused of cheating repeatedly by everyone, including Mike Martz on Undisputed on Friday, the coach of the Rams in the first Super Bowl after the 2001 season. And Mike Martz said that Bill Belichick had every one of the St. Louis Rams practices videotaped. Martz didn't care because he said he didn't install anything new, so it didn't really bother him. He just did what he did during the game, and to their credit, they stopped it. But I don't know about this defensive master because that was pathetic. I mean, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm just disgusted that I throw for 505 and score 33 points and it's not nearly enough. And in the end, Tom Brady got his arm hit by Brandon Graham, so I give you that. Do I blame Brady for that? I guess a little bit. Sometimes it just happens in the pocket. You're under fire all night. You're trying to make a desperation play. And by the way, the first throw on that last drive was a 25-yard out to Chris Hogan, and he just has to catch it. It was a comeback play, kind of a back shoulder play to the outside to the boundary, and you just got to come back. It hit him in the hands, and he didn't catch it. That could have at least gotten him out of jail. And then come on. I don't know. So, yeah, Tom Brady got his arm hit, and he fumbled. So in the end, that play eventually cost them the game. Do I blame or condemn Tom Brady for that? Nope, because that was all-time greatness. That was 28 of 48 for 505 and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. But Belichick's defense turned Nick Foles into Tom Brady. And I raved about Nick Foles all week on Undisputed. I did it on Facebook. You heard me. I said he will not be Nick Foles, F-O-L-D-S. There's no way Carson Wentz would have done that. Would have pulled off those 3 playoff games. Nick Foles is really good. So he threw, how many touchdowns more tonight? 1, 2, 3. So he had 3. He had the 1 interception. So that gets his total up to 69 touchdown passes for his career to 30 interceptions. 69 to 30. And the interception wasn't his fault. It was just bad luck. 69 to 30. That's his career. In the postseason, he is now 8-1. 8 touchdowns to the 1 unlucky interception. I mean, that's just outrageously great by Nick Foles. Again, under pressure, do I think in a vacuum he's better than Carson Wentz? I do not. But did he play better than Carson Wentz would have ever played in his second year starting? You better believe he did. Philly has its Super Bowl. Thank you to Nick Foles. He is the biggest reason they won the Super Bowl is Nick Foles. Philadelphia. Book it. They owe him the biggest debt of gratitude because he was very good. I know he got away with the 1 potential interception against Atlanta, but he also was very good against Atlanta when he had to be. Very clutch. And then he just roasted and toasted the number 1 ranked Minnesota defense 2 weeks ago in Philadelphia. And then tonight, this is just shameful what he did to Bill Belichick's defense. All night long, start to finish. Nick Foles just picked them to pieces. Just shredded Bill Belichick's defense. They couldn't make a play. They couldn't get any pressure on him off that play action that froze the defense repeatedly, and they couldn't cover anybody. And he threw flawlessly. He threw beautiful bullets. Just every time I looked up, he was making another big throw. He completed the big 4th down pass to Ertz, under fire, falling left. I mean, that was a great Super Bowl performance, and I don't throw that word around loosely, but it took that to overcome 505 from Tom Brady. And he didn't even have Brandon Cooks, and he didn't have Edelman, and he didn't have Malcolm Mitchell from last year, who was emerging as a big-time target for him. No Martellus. I don't know how Brady did it, but finally the odds caught up with the Patriots. But it took 2 highway robberies on replay reviews that should have overturned the call on the field to pull it off. So I say congratulations to the Eagles. And I say congratulations to Tom Brady. He almost pulled it off again. I'm going to say it again. Can he play 4 more years? Yeah, he can. I don't think he's ever played better than that. Seriously. He's never played better than that. He's the MVP going into next year. They'll be the favorites going into next year. He erases all of Belichick's mistakes. I mean, Belichick just mixes and matches on defense, and he ships out the Chandler Joneses and the Jamie Collins just when you think they've emerged as a star because he, A, doesn't want to pay him or doesn't want them to get too big for their britches. Well, they got, Chandler Jones had an off-the-field issue. But the big talent, he just ships out. He wants to prove his genius by mixing and matching a bunch of spare parts. And tonight, the spare parts came back and bit him right in the behind. They got shredded by a quote-unquote spare part, a backup quarterback named Nick Foles, who I think all he had 1 year under Chip Kelly was 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I don't know what's not to like about him. And congratulations, Philly. You got your Lombardi and you got your quarterback controversy because I don't know. I mean, how can you go back to Carson Wentz? I guess you could trade Nick Foles. Do you really trust that Carson Wentz, as much as he gambles and runs with the football, is going to stay healthy? Man, I don't know. Can you convince Nick Foles to sit and watch Carson Wentz next year? I don't know. I wouldn't if I were Nick Foles. That was big time. He is a Super Bowl champion, and he is the biggest reason why. Wow. I can't wait to talk about that with what's Shannon Sharp call him, walk it to him Wentz. I have no idea. It's the lamest nickname in sports history. But he sticks with it because he's Shannon Sharp. He's my partner. Hall of Famer. He was up at the Hall of Fame voting and announcement this weekend up in Minneapolis, and he will be back in studio tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. It'll be 6:30 here Pacific time. I doubt I will sleep very much. I'm going to listen to all the interviews. I'm going to pour over the stats. I'm going to prepare my case, and I am going to attack and fire at will. I will come out firing tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time and 9:30 Eastern. Be there. I will be. I'll be defending Tom Brady. I might even congratulate the Eagles tomorrow on 2 robberies. Way to go, NFL. Congratulations. I'll see you tomorrow, undisputed, 9:30 to noon Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Over and out. Facebook Live.